I never believed in my life that if I was transparent that people would accept me. And finally I decided to make a commitment to be more transparent, to let people in from the standpoint of telling them how scared I was. And in the particular instance around bullying, which has been a specialty of mine, for a kid to say, this is hurting me. This is really, what you're saying is hurtful to me. Now, in some cases, it may accelerate. In some cases, it may diminish. But the idea is that you're being honest with people around you to let them know what it is that you're feeling. And it is my contention that in some capacity, every human being has this compassion point. And once you are able to tap into that compassion point, you're able to really, build on that compassion experience. So it then becomes supportive. I tell teachers all the time, I said, if you're not having a good day, announce to your class, I'm not having a good day, can I ask for some support from you? Instead of, my giving you my support, I need your support now. It's the same thing in a family. Family is so much into, my parent program is called Taking the Fear Out of Parenting, because it is so frightening, and the need to control by parents is so profound that what happens is that there's no ownership of a son or daughter in that family. And I always tell parents, if there's one thing to remove from your vocabulary, it's to say to your son or daughter, if you don't like it here, you can go someplace else. Because you don't want them to go someplace else. You want them to feel good about being in this home environment. And the unfortunate thing now is, with high technology these days, kids can fly under the radar and they can virtually fool everybody in their lives. And with that, it's more difficult to connect. It's more difficult. And, it's easier for a kid. I went underground because I wanted to talk to kids about this. I went underground to a rave party. And I put a hat on, and a kid brought me in, and so dark it didn't matter. But I went out and I was getting a contact eye from all the drugs. And I was standing there rubbing my eyes, and I listened, and there was a kid, a young girl on the phone with her mom saying, "Mom, I'm at the mall with such and such. I'll see you later." And then she went right back into the rave party. And so it's easy to fool. It's easy not to face and be more courageous because of technology. I had an 11-year-old that told me that her boyfriend broke up with her by email, and she was so angry, and so she was crying, and she was so angry that he didn't have the courage enough to look her in the face and say this. We're moving away from this. We're moving to the song when I was growing up as a kid in the year 2525. We're moving into that element. And all the things that words in that song and George Orwell's 1984 are starting to come to bear. And unless we're losing intimacy, we're losing this ability to connect.